Yeah, so I wasn't planning on doing this video, but let's do it. So I follow a lot of foreign media. I always kind of been into that, but with COVID and watching how Americans really didn't take it seriously, and watching the U.S. government fail to, fail to operate as it was supposed to, and to watch a government and a huge portion of the American population really make a mockery of public health with science, I've lost faith in society, in humanity. And so, I found other people that are willing to follow COVID and things like that. And some Indian news networks do that pretty well. I know it's to knock China, but they are giving a perspective where I'm not able to get it here. On the seriousness of COVID, on the fatality rate, and young people getting sick, and the white lungs, and it's all pointing to something that is very unusual, and we don't know how serious it could be. I mean, I went and got a drug test yesterday, and I'm the only guy in there wearing a mask. And they're filling body bags in China, they're putting body bags in warehouses and stuff. The lady on the news anchor, she made the point that Joe Biden made a statement back in when he first got elected, I think, or something. We moved past COVID, something like that. And she was making that point, I guess, to be inflammatory, to say like, "Oh well, America should have done that," and that was false. Joe Biden was getting elected. He was moving into a situation where, in many ways, society hadn't gone beyond COVID already. Joe Biden has to operate within the Overton window. This is real talk. This is real political talk, not cannibal pedophiles and things that go bump in the night and lizard people and Jewish space. So this is real political. This is how the real world works. You work within an Overton window. And from the very beginning with COVID, it was always going to be about public cooperation with protective measures. Wearing a mask, getting the shot, getting your boosters. If you feel sick, maybe staying home, maybe getting tests. I got some tests coming here. Maybe if things are moving fast, maybe you shouldn't go out to certain events if you don't have to. From the very beginning, that was implied, and I got that message, and I'm pretty sure many other folks did too. But these are just things that you do, and as Chapo said, that's not what America is. We're not like, I'm sick, so I wear a mask so people don't get sick. Like, Americans are like, if I wear a mask, how come I can still smell my own fart? I actually heard this. This is the logic of people. Of you're wearing a mask, so your particles are blunted. They don't cut out other people, they're blunted. And they wear a mask, so you don't get it. That's what a social contract within a society is. Not us running around with M16s at Walmart. Us wearing masks if we're sick. Us using common sense, keeping distance, things of this nature. Joe Biden, remember something, guys. In 2020, even when COVID was really busting loose and killing people were still going to malls in Texas. I had a friend of mine on the road trucking. He said Oklahoma never shut down, and Texas had to set up checkpoints going in and out of state. They had churches that kept going on. Thousands of people coming to church with COVID going on. Remember the party of the Ozarks in Missouri? All the people came out and they mass spread everywhere. Everybody got sick. This is reality. This is the reality that we dealt with under Trump. And so Biden coming into this show, what was he going to sit here and shame people? This isn't Eastern Germany where we got men running around on the streets in all black with ski masks on. And this isn't that. This is a democracy, or at least we pretend that it is. People have rights. People have freedoms. And from the very beginning, it was going to have to be about people making smart choices to help uh, blunt the contagion, of the disease. Uh, it's a lot of things Joe Biden done I didn't agree with. We can talk about the border policy and other things. It's a lot of things he's done that I feel kind of like. Sometimes I feel like Joe Biden is trying to act like I can do what Trump did. I can go out and flex and do cool, like him bringing home that gay basketball player. I can do that. This is, that's something Trump would do. I can flex and I can reach out, and and it's like, I don't want that. I don't want a thug in the White. I'm not saying Joe Biden is a thug. I don't want a thug in the White House. I'm a technocrat. I want the best people. I want to be ruled by experts, not ruled by populists with the vocabulary of people in the third grade, who can't even spell. I want people who have oomph and are savvy and have the vim and the vigor, not talking big, acting like a gangster. And I feel like sometimes with Joe Biden, there's always that he's trying to, it's not like Obama where we're like, okay, let's do the best. We're still dealing with the remains of Trumpism. There's still some scum there, and you're still dealing with the scum of it, and there is that sense that he's got to do things to measure up. I understand that to be inflammatory. I understand that very well. They got to be inflammatory in their talk, and I understand that they're not Americans. But when you got half the country that doesn't believe the election was fair, that doesn't believe COVID is real, or believe it's a fake that the government created to make Trump look bad, when half of the country is actively trying to kill or kidnap government officials, Gretchen Whitmer up in Michigan is one, Governor DeWine over in Ohio is another, and you had a president talking about liberate states under a pandemic, and you have people going to hospitals and blocking in ambulances and running around with guns, and you have social media stuff, Trump people talking about how they're doing experiments on your family in the hospitals. I get it. When you've got this type of extremism in America, it doesn't leave overnight. And him buckling down and saying, okay, we're going to continue this when it was fading somewhat, could have been counterproductive. This is why I'm a collapse person. I believe in socialism on the left, but I no longer believe America we can go that path. I'm not going to hate on Joe Biden for recognizing it was time to move on with hammering people on COVID after a year of it. I'm not going to do that. I understand that and move on. And that's another part of collapse, is that when we have these crises, we're not able to deal with them because we're too busy thinking about the treats and thinking about our way of life, and we're not able to recognize that there's interruptions sometimes. And the fact that so many people cracked over COVID and the violence and the rednecks in the streets with the guns and the vests within a week of COVID hitting, that's when I knew this was going to be real. Because I knew back in 2020, and I know now, rednecks are always looking for the hill to die on. And a lot of them died because of COVID. A lot of people got sick and were affected because of COVID. But I knew then that they weren't going to cooperate. They were going to make this like a little boy not want to get in the bathtub. He's going to do things to disrupt everything. I'm not going to do this. That I need to do, because that's what we do in a society. We have to bathe. I'm not going to do this, so now everybody's got to deal with me. That's how they were in regards to dealing with a worldwide pandemic. That at no point did I say, I'll leave it at that. I'm not trying to fanboy for Biden, but I think he did the best he could. In a way, it's like denazification. He's coming in after a attempted coup on the Capitol. He's coming in after men tried to hang the vice president. He's coming in. I'm sure he got death threats, like Obama did. You know, this is what happens. You know, they don't talk about this stuff. But it's not fair. It's not proper. It's not just to disrespect the president simply for recognizing it's time to move on. Because he said something last winter, I think. He was talking, or it might have been this winter. We was talking about how if you don't get your vaccine, if you don't have a mask, like this is going to be a cold winter. It's going to be this. He was basically telling you something that I can't do anything now. It's really up to people that want to make smart decisions and folks that don't. Thanks for listening.